From the Advent Flame News Center, this is Advent Flame News, the latest from the Seventh-day Adventist World Church.
Hello and welcome to Advent Flame News for July 25, 2020. I am Leandre Samuels. Adventist owned and operated Loma Linda University Children's Hospital has earned magnet recognition as part of the American Nurses Credentialing Center's Magnet Recognition Program. The announcement was made on Monday, July 20. The voluntary credentialing program for hospitals recognizes excellence in nursing and is the highest honor a healthcare organization can receive for professional nursing practice. This is the first time the 343-bed hospital has received the prestigious distinction. Only 9% of the more than 6,000 healthcare organizations in the United States have been evaluated as worthy of this designation. The Northern Ecuadorian Mission Pathfinders Club has not allowed the coronavirus pandemic to impede their activities this year, instead focusing on becoming future leaders and upright citizens. The Mi Casa Mi Club program plans virtual activities in a way that each member will be able to reinforce their skills, gifts, and talents for service to others. On Sunday, June 28, around 2,000 Pathfinders from across North Ecuador joined an interactive online broadcast of Mi Casa Mi Club on the Northern Ecuadorian Mission Facebook page and other social media outlets. One of the guests on the program was Director of Pathfinders and Adventurers for the Adventist Church in South America, Dalby Zukoweski. Zukoweski encouraged young people and adolescents to stay in the ministry and continue to be with Jesus even in the midst of the current world situation. When a paper shortage hit Cuba several months ago, the Seventh-day Adventist print shop was forced to close. Not being able to find paper anywhere on the island at a time when the world began its lockdown due to the coronavirus pandemic meant the church was facing a serious problem. Because access to Christian radio, television, and online programs are restricted or too expensive for most Seventh-day Adventists and the community in Cuba, printed Sabbath school quarter lessons have become the most valuable resource to strengthen the study of the Bible among the membership, says President of the Church in Cuba, Pastor Aldo Perez. Back in the 1980s and 1990s, the church was forced to repeat several quarterlies, but during the last few decades, the church had never been faced with such a dire situation. Because of the high cost of shipping, the Inter-American Division Publishing Association, IADPA, sends the quarterly material to be printed locally, and the division pays for its printing in the church's print shop in Cuba. The quarterlies are delivered to the conference offices, and local pastors pick them up and deliver them to their congregations. Communication Director for the church in Cuba, Dayami Rodriguez, said, "This is like pure gold for a church here. The church in Cuba had never seen such a high-quality quarterly and so beautiful." When a shipment with 11,000 Sabbath school quarterlies for adults and children and pallets of paper arrived in the port of Havana on June 29, church leaders and members rejoiced at the sight of their answered prayers. Local leaders received the shipment on July 6 and quickly moved to distribute them across the island. The church in Cuba is so happy today because it has seen the hand of God working yet another miracle in our favor, says Perez. Many have called our offices grateful that they can study this third quarterly filled with such important messages for the time in which we are living. The church's print shop will soon begin printing the fourth quarterly lessons and will make them available at the end of September. Beyond that, it's in God's hands, Perez says. The Seventh-day Adventist Church in Cuba has nearly 38,000 members in 491 churches and congregations. The church oversees 4 conferences, a theological seminary, and a print shop. And finally this week, Adventist leaders in Campo Grande, the capital of Mato Grosso do Sul, Brazil, came up with an inspired idea to encourage acts of solidarity among members and help vulnerable families in their community, especially in light of the coronavirus pandemic. Chaplain Claudini Primo started the Onda do Bem, or Wave of Good challenge in the health unit of Hospital Adventista do Penfigo in Campo Grande. He challenged Managing Director Everton Martin to purchase food baskets for needy families in the city. Martin in turn challenged 3 other co-workers. Gradually, the chain gained momentum and many employees joined the initiative. The hospital matched the number of donations collected by employees, which resulted in approximately 5 tons of food in the form of basic baskets. Some of the staff personally took the food to the communities. Altogether, 130 families received supplies. For Primo, seeing the result of his challenge is indescribable. He met the families, read a passage from the Bible, and prayed with them. And that concludes this week's newscast, recapping the top news stories from the Adventist World Church. Loma Linda University Children's Hospital earns coveted magnet recognition. Pathfinder Club, not deterred by coronavirus, continues to meet virtually. Adventist Church in Cuba celebrates God-sent shipment during the pandemic. And Adventist Hospital collects nearly 5 tons of food for vulnerable families. All news stories were provided by Adventist News Network. Find these and more at adventist.news. On behalf of all of us here at Advent Flame Media Productions, I am Leondre Samuels. Keep safe and have a pleasant day.
This was Advent Flame News. News from the Adventist World Church. This was a production of Advent Flame Media, committed to sharing hope and changing lives across the world.